Hey there everybody, another video here on this Esoteric Circle YouTube channel. Coming to you from my vacation spot in northern Michigan where my family and I come to a cabin in the woods where there's no electricity, no running water, and we love it up here. And I have been without the news for an entire week, and I've been detoxifying my mind and my spirit from our sick, absolutely putrid civilization out there, and love it up here. So this is a rare time for me, and I'm just at a great place in my life, and I'm really shedding a lot of my karmic burden. And so just wanted to share some thoughts about Pilgrim at Tinker Creek. And but first I want to invite you to our Discord channel. If you are interested in a deeper dive and a nice online community that you can find spiritual support from, intellectual support, and just a group of people who are like-minded. It's about 25 or 30 of us on Discord. Just send me a comment below, and I'll give you an invitation through an email address. So just wanted to talk a little bit about Annie Dillard's Pilgrim at Tinker Creek. When I was in high school, I was introduced to this book by a guy named Mr. Worley. I don't even know what his first name was, but he was my senior year English teacher. And might as well have been a professor because he was just an amazing teacher. Really taught me how to think and opened my eyes to an entirely new world out there and prepared me to do what I'm doing, which is continue to be analytical in terms of what I do, what I see, what I take into my body and my mind. And it really started with Mr. Worley, and he absolutely never knew that. But he used to wear the same clothes every day to class, and they were never, dirty or anything. He had several sets of them, but he had the same clothes on every day. And one time, someone asked him, "Why do you wear the same clothes?" And he said, "I want my students to realize that I am consistent and always, always there for them, and I never change." And that just impacted me so much. So anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about Pilgrim at Tinker Creek. This book is amazing. This chapter 2 is entitled Seeing. And in it, she writes about the things we see and then the limited things that we can see, and how we are so limited in terms of what we actually perceive in this world. And she writes, "Peeping through my keyhole, I see within the range of only about 30% of the light that comes from the sun. The rest is infrared and some little ultraviolet, perfectly apparent to many animals, but invisible to me. A nightmare network of ganglia, charged and firing without my knowledge, cuts and splices what I do see, editing it for my brain. Donald E. Carr points out that the sense impressions of one-celled animals are not edited for the brain. Quote, "This is philosophically interesting," Carr writes, in a rather mournful way, since it means that only the simplest animals perceive the universe as it is. In an amazing conversation I had with my oldest two, 20-year-old and Dylan, and then Katie's 16. They're both ready to go 21 and 17, but they're just so amazing in terms of their spiritual insight at this age. I was never even close at this age. It's 20 and 16, just not even close. But we just had a nice little lunch here just a little bit ago. We talked about just all kinds of stuff. That Joe Dispenza book, Dylan is reading that, and he's talking about quantum physics, and we're talking about the space within molecules and atoms, and the space within our souls, and we're talking about detoxifying our body so that our pineal gland can be a better receiver, and we're talking about karmic burden. And that whole idea of karmic burden just fascinates me. We talked about that for a little while, the three of us, and just had an amazing conversation. In this vacation, I have slowed down, and I have just really begin to understand that so much of my life is being wasted by worrying, especially about, say, politics, for instance, and what's going on in the world today, especially Supreme Court stuff that's going on. And last week, I've just really secluded and isolated myself from that. And it's been an amazing event for me this week, just to not have those influences. And this idea of what we can perceive and what we can see and what we can't see fascinates me. And this conversation that the three of us had today was just absolutely mind-blowing. And this idea that we are actually born into this world with a burden, that we are actually genetically burdened with sometimes diseases. We're genetically born with, in my case, infections. And you spend so much of your time trying to figure out what is yours and what is inherited. And this inheritance can also come from theology and doctrine, beliefs, all these things that we think we believe, and people can get so worked up about because they identify with this belief system or this doctrine and this theology. And so much of my life up until this point at age 54 has been about shedding this, like scales falling off, shedding this so that I can really see all the light that comes from the sun, so that I can really begin to take in everything that is happening to me. And I get to sort out, as Robin Amos would say, what's mine in my mind and what's not mine. And I can ditch the stuff that's not mine, and I can keep what's mine. And in my spirit as well, and in my body, I can keep what's mine that keeps me healthy, and then I can ditch what is killing me. And I can detoxify from all those influences, not only from food additives and fluoride and all this stuff so that I can cleanse my pineal gland, but also from my spirit. And even inherited things that I have picked up and taken with me from my dad and from everything I was taught in seminary and this doctrine. And that's why organized religion can be so burdensome, because it is that me? Is that what I believe? Or is that what I've been told to believe in order to get to heaven, in order to have fire insurance so that I can get to heaven? So we have to really get to that place in our lives where we examine what is ours and what is inherited, so that we truly can see the light that is there, because we can see so little because we cover ourselves with inherited junk. We have inherited so much stuff. And I want to ask you that question. What exactly in your life, your belief system, is yours? Really yours, what you really believe? Or what is inherited? And what do you want to get rid of? What do you want to jettison? What is in your brain? What thoughts are in your brain that you want to jettison? Thoughts that are based in trauma that you have had in the past. Thoughts that you have not because you want to have them, but because they have rooted themselves in your life like roots in your neural pathways from trauma, from past events. How much of our life is spent living someone else's life? And in our past, we're just living someone else's life. In this moment that we're in, we have to live in this moment. And in order to do that, we have to get rid of all this karmic burden that we've inherited, that we have developed while we're on this earth. And we need to shed this so that we can really see the light that is all around us. And if we really take time and just relax and sort out what's ours and what is not ours, we will begin to see the truth. We will begin to see reality. Otherwise, we're living someone else's life. Blessings to you, my friend. And again, if you want to dive deeper, send me a comment. And just know that your life is important to this world. Your life, not someone else's. Take care. I'll see you soon.